We write songs about movies, and this week we're joined by comedian Ricky Grimes, and we've written songs about the Santa Claus 3. Like, comment, subscribe, and make a wish on that bell icon. This is the Royds Review Podcast. Hello, and welcome to the Royds Review Podcast. I'm Rob.
And I'm Andy.
And we are back once again, joined by very funny comedian Ricky Grimes. Ricky, thank you so much for being here.
Hey, I appreciate it. You know, I'm a big fan of the Royds, generally speaking. I was actually listening to some of your podcasts, trying to catch up to make sure I was up to date with the ongoings. But then I went and I listened to what's the record called that you guys have out with the diner with Carol. What's
You look nice today, Carol.
Dude, really good. I mean, the late night radio song, like I moved that to my actual library, like it's in my regular rotation now. That song rules.
Thank you so much.
I don't know if people are only here for the ha-has or whatever, but you guys, that record is really good. It's well produced, but it's also just really good. So Andy, are you on? You're on. I don't know if this is what version of the Royds, but you're on that too, right? You're playing on that?
Yes, yeah. I'm on bass and guitar, I believe, on that one.
Fellas,
yeah.
I think you should make sure that people know that you have that out there, because that's a nice piece of work that you got in there. But let me just say that. So for one, I'm a fan, generally speaking. Rob, I know we're buddies. We see each other not often, but when we do see each other, it's always a fun time doing shows and out and about. And Andy, we've never met, or maybe we have, but it's a pleasure to meet you. Congratulations on the kid. I'm raring to go. See, I got if you look here in the background, I got my Martin Short autobiography, which is a pretty good read. I read it a few years ago. I skimmed it yesterday to make sure that there was any sort of insight on the Santa Claus 3. He doesn't write about it in there, which I think is a good tell about what his thoughts are on the film. It doesn't come up. And then this is my VHS of the Santa Claus original. Now, I've been collecting VHSs recently, trying to get a collection going, but this one is actually my childhood one from when I was a kid. I took it from my parents' house. Classic VHS. So this is Santa Claus. The original is a high level classic in my childhood with my family. It's number one. It's above Christmas Story, Wonderful Life, all that stuff. That's number one. So I have a very deep fondness for that movie. The other two which I know both you've covered, 1 and 2.
Yep.
3, that one that we're going to talk about today, is maybe one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And I actually, this I've seen it peripherally. I know what it was about, but I actively avoided it for many a year because of how much I thought it would harm me in my love for this film. And so having to actually sit and watch it for this podcast was torturous. But I appreciate it, because what it lacks in a bad movie, it is a nice slice of ham to be podcasted about. I'll tell you that. It's a thick meat of takes. I will tell you that, in terms of what's going on in this film. So I appreciate you having me. I also got my snow globe here, because I know that comes up quite a bit. I'll give that a shake.
Don't make a wish, though.
Nice.
All right.
No, don't make a wish.
Oh, we'll get to that horse shit. We'll get to that.
Yeah. Rob, real quick. Rob,
I know what you're about to say. Yeah. I'm gonna fix that real quick. Yeah, hang on 1 second. I'm going to pause this because I know exactly what's happening. I had brought this curtain down because it's red, and I was hoping to give it a nice Christmassy vibe, but there's a peak of sun coming right out the top of it, and I'm in heaven. So give me 1 second while I can fix the view.
You look like Charles. You look like Ebenezer Scrooge when the first ghost is coming. It looks like the ghost of Christmas Past. Well, I was gonna say. So here's my quick anecdote about this movie, which I think is kind of funny, but you tell me. So there's a couple of things in my life, where I'm a kid, where I misidentify actors in weird ways, my brain just grabs onto it for some reason, and I think that's what they are. And as I get older, I'm why did I think that? There's 3, and one involves this movie, and you guys might think this is really weird, or maybe not. I don't know. I've never really explored this. So the first one is, I always thought when I was a kid that the movie Eraserhead by David Lynch, I would always get that movie confused with just the picture, just like the movie poster. That and Barton Fink, because it's like a guy with like a face with tall hair. And so when I got older,
expression.
and when I got older, I always thought that when I learned about like John Turturro and Barton Fink, I never saw either of those movies. So I always thought that John Turturro was in Eraserhead. And like I thought that poster was what that movie was for. Don't know why. It took me a long time like to figure out like that's not what that was. Very weird. 2, in Space Jam, at the end of the movie, Bill Murray shows up to like play in the game, and the Swack Hammer, the Danny DeVito alien mobster character, whatever his title is, he looks at the camera. Bill Murray walks in. And then Danny DeVito looks at the camera and goes, "I didn't know Dan Aykroyd was in this movie," like that. And it's like a joke, right? Obviously now it's a joke. But as a kid, I just thought he was just making an observation, right? So I'm like, "Oh, that's Dan Aykroyd. Like that's Dan Aykroyd, right?" So then like I would watch movies as like I'm a little bit older of a kid, and I'd watch like I think he's in like Osmosis Jones, like Bill Murray, right? Like he's in like So I'm watching.
He's the sick one in Osmosis Jones, I think.
Yeah. And so like or like even like Groundhog's Day, and like I would watch the movie, and they'd be like starring Bill Murray, and I'd be like, holy crap, this guy looks just like Dan Aykroyd. Like they're like twins. I swear on my life that I had these thoughts until I wasn't really like into like movies and music and stuff like I am now until I was much older. So I'd have like this real like casual viewing, and I would be like, dude, no one gets these guys confused. They're identical. And then I'd learn like they're both on Saturday Night Live. And you can't just look people up. Like there's no internet to like just like Google quickly back then. And the other one, and this is the weirdest one, and I don't even know why. So like I told you, one I think is really, really good movie. I actually think it actually holds up. 1, I don't know if you guys felt that way. 2, not that good. Yeah. But when it came out, I was like in 5th grade, and we like watched it in school like during the holidays, and it was like an event. Like here it comes. Like this is the big return of the Santa Claus series, and we were all jacked up and we watched it in class. And we didn't think it was that good, but it was exciting at the time. Even as a kid, we're kind of like, it's not really, whatever. But then they're like, oh, and now we're making 3, and like I was actively like as like I guess a middle schooler now. I'm like, no way in hell I'm watching that piece of trash. But for some reason in middle school, maybe I was watching VH1 at the time, I knew who Bill Maher was, but I didn't know who Martin Short was.
I know exactly where you go.
So in my head, for a long time, I thought it was Bill Maher was Jack Frost in this movie. Until like, because I never, like, I wouldn't. It's almost like I didn't want to look right at it, so that was just in my head. And then I got like one day, I'm older, and I go, wait a minute, what? Like not a guy who ever. I don't even think he like acted in any movies. Nonetheless, like this like weird Disney romp where he's wearing a blue wig. Yeah. So I finally like. I think about it for like 30 seconds, and I'm like, oh, obviously it's not Bill Maher. But they, I guess I knew what they kind of look like. In a peripheral kind of view, they do kind of maybe look alike, kind of.
They do, yeah.
I don't know.
I think it was. Pull them up, like next to each other.
I mean, they're like kind of like turtle-looking guys with the hair, like with the, with like kind of like longer slick back hair, maybe. I mean. Now I know who Martin Short is, and like obviously I read his book. Like I'm in love with everything he's ever done. Yeah, like he's iconic. But for some reason I was like, well, of course it's Bill Maher, who I knew he was a stand-up. So I was like, all right, he's funny. Maybe he's in this movie. And so like I never really watched it. And then when I finally kind of put everything together, but I was like, it was one of the most. And then in retrospect, it's the most insane thought of all time that Bill Maher would be in this movie.
Okay, I have pulled up a photograph of Bill Maher with Martin Short.
I mean, could they be brothers? Could they be?
No,
maybe.
I don't know if it's okay to say, but they did something to Marty Short's nose in this.
See, okay. Does he? So this? I mean, could if you put Bill Maher in the blue hair with the kind of the weird features. I mean, it's not close, but it's like, I don't know. I gave myself some grace as a kid, but I was like, I don't know.
Listen, as soon as you said Bill Maher, I was like, I know exactly where you're going, because he does. Now that you mention it, he does look like it.
You know, I criticize, but I've mentioned this on the podcast. There was a time in my life when I thought Braveheart and Dragonheart were the same movie.
Dude, there's so many like that. That's so crazy.
Well, I think I said this also on the podcast. I used to think Ariana Grande and Selena Gomez were the same person. I thought it was a Miley Cyrus situation.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. I did. I mean,
it's insane to think about it now, but like at the time, if you're just like half paying attention, you're just like,
yeah.
oh yeah, I know who that is. That was kind of what I thought about these old white man comedians. That's what I just thought they were all the same. But I mean, you could not find two more different people than Bill Maher and Martin Short in style. In probably like maybe politics, maybe kind of. I mean, I don't know where Bill Maher is now, but you know what I mean. Like, I don't even know if they're. I mean, the same age. They're both hovering anywhere between the ages of like 71 and 94. I don't know how they're both. They're so old, but like yet they look pretty good. I mean, Martin Short's still kind of a hottie, right? I mean, even now he looks pretty good.
He looks great, and even in this, he's like 55 or something. He looks 30.
Yeah.
Looks great. They do the thing at the end like where he kind of melts and he goes, like, he looks like I forget one of his characters. I think it's Ed Grimley. He looks kind of like Ed Grimley a little bit. One of his characters.
You know what I thought he looked like Kenneth Parcell from 30 Rock. Jack
McBrayer.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, we'll get into the actual like plot mechanics. None of it makes any sense at all. I mean, it makes absolutely
well.
No sense.
The lore that is established in this franchise, if you think about it for more than a second, is bizarre. It's insane. Santa Claus dies, and if you put on his clothes, you become him. That's
the first movie does a good enough, the first movie does a good enough job of kind of like staying right on the side of like, we're not going to really talk about it. So like they stay right on the side enough where you don't ask any questions. And then the second movie's like, hey, let's ask every question. And then the third one's like, let's start making up questions like to really just like poke like a lore that doesn't really exist. Let's just try to poke holes in it ourselves and see if anything holds.
They do and It's a Wonderful Life, but they do it like 50 minutes in.
And it's out of nowhere.
Is it the last like 10 minutes of the movie?
Yeah.
Like it's like
like this movie's almost nothing until the very end, and then it's like just barely something. You know, it's
the movie is like, boy, my pregnant wife and my in-laws are here and my job is stressful. Like this is a kid's movie.
Right. That's what I was thinking the entire time. I was like, if I were a kid, I'd be like, boring.
Who would care about this? And then you have and then Martin Short's the levity, but like if you're a kid, like Martin Short, as you notice, like a 55-year-old, like, you know, sketch comedian doing one of the worst characters he's ever done.
Yeah.
Like this, you know. And none of his bits are that funny. Like it's very like Iago and Othello. Like he's doing like really like political like under sieging. He's not like throwing pies or anything. Like he could be doing like quicksand and he's like doing wacky stuff. He's doing like the most like corporate espionage type stuff you've ever seen. Yeah. It's absolutely insane. Who would like this? I really don't know who would like this. And then I saw, because I was doing some research, that there's like, because Tim Allen, I think, is in like his third sitcom now, like his third syndicated sitcom right now.
Yeah, he's in a Shifting Gears with Kat Dennings.
Yeah, which is a sitcom where they thought of the pun first and then wrote the sitcom.
Yeah.
Like they thought of the pun title and then they went back and wrote the sitcom.
The sitcom before this one was Last Man Standing, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
it's like, what if a guy had a bunch of daughters? It's like, wow, good premise. That's great.
But he's got a vlog. But he's got a vlog. Like he kind of closes it out. Like at the end, he's like him talking to his camera. Like, well, and then my daughter did this. The liberals. But in the end, we're all human beings or something like that. It's like some wacky thing. Now, Tim Allen, of course, probably one of the most, not including like pharmaceutical companies, but like it's probably like in terms of like drug dealers, like post drug dealing career success, it's like Jay-Z and then Tim Allen number 2, right?
I don't see who else.
I mean, right? I mean, it's got to be like outside of, there's probably more successful drug dealers than he was. But in terms of drug dealers who like went on to another career, I mean, he's got to be close second to Jay-Z. It's like Jay-Z's like, maybe
it helps
he's
when you
got
snitch.
that Disney money.
Oh,
Yeah,
it does
big
it
time.
ever? Did you get into this in the early Santa Clauses?
No, we
A little
barely
bit.
spoke about it, but like
We talked a little bit.
a little bit, but
Check
you know,
it
again, he snitched on all his buddies and was like, "All right, now I get to become the star. Enjoy prison, fellers."
Yeah, and one of the all-time mugshots of all time too, where he's
Yes.
got the giant,
Yeah.
he's got the giant mustache and a face that just says, "I'm telling on everybody."
Yeah.
Ricky, give out your socials and anything you'd like to promote real quick.
Oh, we're wrapping up already? Oh, no.
No.
They're like, pull the cord on this one. Basically just on Instagram for the most part. I don't really have any other social media, but at Ricky D Grimes, or you can go to rickydgrimes.com. Doing a little more stand up all over Long Island for the most part. Trying to go some other places, but it's that's basically it. I post a bunch of jokes. I post on clips of performing, and then I'm out all over the place. Come see me. If I post about a show, it usually means it's going to be pretty good, and I'll get up there and I'll do my thing, and then we have a fun time. Me and Rob do a bunch of shows around Long Island, and we have a really fun time. It's really fun to be out there. There's a lot of good working comedians, a lot of not so good ones, but a lot of good working comedians as well. So if but if you see us on a show, for the most part, it's gonna be a good one. So I'd recommend you come on out. But that's just like with every industry. But it's a lot of fun. I think I have, this comes out on the 15th. I have a gig on I actually have one on the 20th and on the 21st, both with Wasted Talent agency. One's in Lindenhurst on the 21st, and the other one is, I don't remember. But they're both if you go to my website, I'll have them both on there. rickydgrimes.com. Thanks guys.
Awesome, thank you.
Guys, I just followed him, so you should do the same.
Hey,
very nice.
No.
So before this viewing, had you guys seen the Santa Claus 3 before?
No.
Never sat down and saw it in one sitting.
I
Never
have.
sat down in one sitting.
There was a weird period when I was in college where I stayed up one night and just watched all 3 Santa Claus movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was a really fun guy in college.
It's a sledding ride of its own kind, down from the top all the way down to the bottom.
Oh man, you know what? I like this better than the second one.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, not better than the first one's a classic. The first one's great.
First one is bona fide.
This is not
Is it-
good.
So
No.
what are we talking about? We're talking. I mean, we'll do the ratings later. So you think do you think it's significantly better, or do you think it's or it's just more fun?
I think it's more fun.
More fun because you got Martin Short again. He's not that funny, but he's trying. He's doing shtick. And then in the 2, it's like almost like a melodrama, like with the son. And this Charlie has the son has too much time, and then the wife, the principal that becomes the wife, is kind of she's not that fun. And then so I guess I can go with you there. I guess I can maybe understand. I think 2 might be a better movie. Made because this one looks like hell, this one, but I guess 2
it looks terrible. They both look terrible.
Yeah, they're really not
Yeah.
The first one was smart in having Santa's workshop be a small, quaint workshop, and in the next 2 they just get bigger and bigger, and it's okay guys, this doesn't look good.
Can I tell you the one thing about the first one that always freaked me out as a kid is when he goes into the Santa Claus bedroom and he's got the live puppet show happening in his room. Do you remember that at all?
Yes.
There's a little
Yes.
thing, and he has and it always scared me as a kid. I was so freaked out. I'm I wouldn't want them they're gonna pop up and see me while I'm in my room. That was one thing I was just I don't like that at all. That was disturbing. And then in 3, they're almost okay, in 1, they're it's a little bit on the peripheral. Oh, it's a little magic over here, a little magic over here. And this, they're let's really build out this elf Santa North Pole community. Let's make sure that they have stores that they can shop in, and then let's give them, I don't know, a place where a person can give birth. Let's open that Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So that made me think,
Go ahead,
did they
Andy.
build that specifically for her? Because
let's get into it.
They're all children, right?
Do elves procreate? How old are they supposed to be? in the opening scene, and I know we'll get to the order here, because the weird thing about this movie is it also for some reason does like a Wes Anderson superstructure of it's her telling a story to the children. Like they're like, we can't just let this movie start. We got to really like, give it some structure as to why this story is being told. And then it starts with her like teaching children, teaching elf. How old are these kids that she's quote unquote teaching math to? Are they just uneducated? They've never been taught math, so now everyone's coming in. Like, is it just a finite number of elves that never live, never die? They're never born, they're never deceased, and they just all live in this planetarium of immortality. And
so in the first one, one of the elves says she's 600 years old. She's a little girl. Mm-hmm. She says specifically that she's 600 years old.
That's right.
Because we raised that in our famous segment questions, which all of this belongs in.
And she says, and she says, and Tim Allen says, "Not bad for you. Look good for your age."
Yeah, which is a funny gag.
And then she says, I think she says, I'm seeing somebody in rapping or something like that, like in the rapping department. Like she's got it. So to answer your question, the idea I think is that they're all older. So I guess they must have built this elfirmary, as they call it, for this one child to be born. This abomination of whatever Christmas magic is going to be held. And by the way, it does get into this in like that Disney Plus. Like there's like a show that came after this that's supposed to be canonically picking up. I never saw it. I'm not addressing it. I don't want anything. So there's probably somebody, some one who's a deep lore person who's like going to come back and have answers for some of these questions we're going to say based on the show. And to that I say, whatever. Take that to a different. I was gonna say a bad word for some reason. I got all fired. I read this like Hollywood Reporter little article where I guess he's promoting something else, or maybe they just interview him every holiday season to be like, "Hey, go watch that stuff on Disney Plus." But he was talking about like, "Hey, I was a little disappointed. I thought that me and Marty didn't really get a chance to kind of, flex our comedy muscles and do some bits." But I was like, I mean, if you have no. You couldn't have said something at the time. Like, if not you, then who has the authority to be like,
Right. You have the pull here. You are the star. You are Santa Claus.
Like, imagine being like you have FU money beyond FU money. You're the star of the movie, and you're still like, I'm beholden to the words on the paper. I can't. What am I going to do? These script writers. I'm stuck with these golden handcuffs. I can't get around making a good movie.
Well, that's because they don't want a movie where Santa Claus just keeps complaining about his bitch wife.
Yeah.
Because that's what Tim Allen would have thrown into the script.
I mean, but it is kind of in this movie. I mean, that is kind of
it's pretty much the plot. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. But like,
he's kind of like, oh, my wife, and then the in-laws are coming. Ooh.
Exactly. All right, so, Tim, flex your comedy chops about this one. I hate my mother-in-law.
My mother-in-law. Ooh.
So my idea going into this was like, okay, the story is already like bananas, but like, okay, we got some heavy hitters in here, so at least it's gonna be funny, and it's not. There's Alan Arkin is in this.
The funniest part about Alan Arkin's performance is how little he cares.
Yes, he is phoning it in so hard. Like, even later on when he finally understands that, oh, wait, these aren't little Canadians. These are elves. And that's Santa Claus. And then, like, he was very slowly coming to he's like, and that makes me Santa Claus's father-in-law. It's like, wow, Alan, you
which makes me
that's it?
Father-in-law Christmas.
Father-in-law Christmas.
Mother-in-law Christmas.
Yeah. Which you could tell, like, the script writers, like, when they're putting this thing together, are like they wrote that, and they're like, I think we can call it for today, right? Like, that's good. I think we nailed it for today. I think we got it. I mean, when you know this, when you're writing, you get something, and you're like, successful day. They thought that was it. We got our win for today. But he delivers that line as he's like, as they always joke, like you could see him cashing the check in his head as he's like,
he's like mid yawn as he's delivering that line.
Can we edit out the dollar signs in his eyes?
Yeah. Does he have to be counting his money in his hand as he's reading the line? They call me. Just pan up. They call me Father Chris. No, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. The whole thing is terrible. And then they have now. Here's the other thing about this movie, which is insane, is that the movie never actually gets to Christmas. Like Christmas does not happen. It's all in the lead up to Christmas. He's about to go out for Christmas. So it's Christmas Eve. And then they jump cut to after Christmas, theoretically, where they bring the kid in who's already been alive for, as Andy knows this better than it looks to be probably about similar to how your kid is now when they bring him in the episodes I listen to, you probably pre-recorded. Your kid's probably like 25 years old. I don't actually know how old your kid is based on the episodes I've been listening to because we're kind of pre-recording. Anyway, they bring the kid in, so it's before Christmas, and then after Christmas, we never even see Christmas. He never goes out on the sleigh. He never leaves the North Pole, other than to kidnap his in-laws and to pick up Judge Reinhold.
Well, like, whenever Judge Reinhold says anything about therapy, they play like a sitar in the back. It's like, therapy is not like some foreign concept.
Oh, Eastern medicine.
Yeah.
I was one of those things where I'm watching and I'm like, this might be offensive, but I don't even know to who. Like, I don't even know what part of it is offensive. Like, is it offensive to psychologists or to the whole medium of the profession? I don't even know what they're trying to even do here.
I think that's when it's just like when you're like something's offensive. I don't know to who. I think it's just bad. You know?
I think
you made a bad
exactly
thing.
Right. But you know what the thing is like they had these guys. Now Reinhold, even in Santa Claus 1, wasn't like at his peak. He was probably like, that was kind of like a middling movie. It wasn't like it was a big blockbuster. It ended up being big, but they were just casting, who's a guy who could play stick up his butt guy number 3, like can be like kind of like the annoying divorced new dad. And Reinhold's there. Everyone's great in that movie. He's perfectly fine. But they must have had in the contract where it's like, they didn't think this was going to be like a franchise. It took like 10 years to make number 2. So they must have had it in the contract where they're just like, anytime that, no one gets this anymore. But now it used to be back in the day, like if you ever make any sort of like Santa Claus sequels or books or merchandise, like a big catch-all where they got to be in it. And they must have had that in his contract. So even in 3, where the mom, what's her name? Charlie's mom, the ex-wife, she's in this movie for God knows what reason. She does absolutely nothing, but it must have been in the contract. It's in the contract that she's got to be in it. They can't make a movie without her, and she gets like 4th billing.
Yeah.
So it must have been locked in the contract that they just like literally like lawyers are poring over how to get this guy out. Like, do you have to bring back Judge Reinhold and pay him like probably $1 million to do like a sweater gag?
Yeah, I'm sure that you're probably right. That's probably in their contract because they do like in the beginning. It's like, I gotta get my in-laws because we need family here, and then for no reason at all, like his ex-wife and their family's like, we should go too, and he's like, no, and they're like, no, we should go, and he's like, okay.
They're essentially like, hey, can we be in this movie?
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Feels like you guys are doing a movie.
We want in.
You guys are doing a movie, and it'd be funny if Reinhold takes out his contract and it's just like, sounds like you guys are doing a movie. I'm coming with you. And he's like, I don't know about that. My lawyers are looking it over. And he's like, it's ironclad, pal. We're coming. Get us in that sleigh.
It's going to cost you more if I'm not in there. Okay.
Yeah. And they're like, maybe we could do a flashback and maybe it's old Judge Reinhold, like annoyed Judge Reinhold. Oh, look at but then the other thing about that exact logical reason, I think that's why Peter Boyle is in this movie as a different character than he is in the first movies. The guy who plays the dad from Everybody Loves Raymond, I think Am I Peter Boyle? Am I saying right?
Peter Boyle. Yeah.
He's in the first movie.
He's actively dying in this one.
It's the last movie he had.
No disrespect.
It's the last movie he made before he died. That's legitimate. So,
that
but
makes sense.
he's in the first. He's in the first movie. Remember, he plays Tim Allen's boss, the one that he goes to the conference. He goes to the meeting, and then afterwards he pulls him aside. And he's like, "You're fat. You're crazy. You must be like lose some weight or you're fired." I guess is what his thing is.
Yeah,
essentially. Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, it's like, what are you crazy? Like, what do you think? What are you, Santa Claus? Get out of here. But then they bring him back as Father Time in 2 and 3, which is inexplicable that they would use the same actor. It's not like they can't get another old guy. It's not like they need I mean, who else but him? And it's like
Right.
it's not a wink to the camera. It's not like I was Father Time the whole time. Like they don't do anything like that.
Right.
It must have just been that he had this weird contract because he was kind of somebody that they were like, I have to be in these movies. And they're like, well, how are we going to bring Tim Allen's boss back? How are we going to do that? They just
he doesn't work there anymore.
They just threw him into the thing. It must be the only reason, because it makes no sense otherwise why he would be in these two movies. It's absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah, these contracts must be thick.
Well, you can imagine that he was just like, they're like, well, we'll pay like whatever, like not that much money because you're in like 2 scenes, but like you got a good like angry face. And then he's like, fine, but you know what? Any movie you make Santa Claus going forward, I get to be in. And they're like, fine, whatever. Like 90s Disney people, like they don't expect this type of nonsense.
Sure, we'll give you the Judge Reinhold deal.
Yeah. Who cares? We're never gonna make another one of these. It's gonna make like $50,000, like at the box office. We'll sell a couple of DVDs, and then basically they'll just like, we'll put it on ABC Family every year, and it's content. Like, you know what I mean? Tim Allen's a nobody. Like, what do we care? We're paying him nothing, and then all of a sudden everything happens, and Judge Reinhold basically gets like a windfall every time they decide to make one. Is he in the series, Reinhold? He must be.
I do not know.
He must be.
But it would be objectively funny for them to be like, Tim Allen's a nobody in 1994, and then Home Improvement and Toy Story come out. I was like, damn it!
By the way, he's wearing the Santa costume the whole time. He's unpleasant to look at. That when they finally do the flashback where they go back and he's not Santa Claus anymore, you're like, thank the Lord. I don't have to look at this guy as Santa anymore. I mean, that's what's... And Rob, I will say, it's masterful about the second one is they do find a way to get him out of that Santa look. They find a way to kind of do it. So it's pretty clever how they do that, I must admit. And it makes it much easier to watch. Where you're not in this, like, you're in the real world, he looks good, and it's not like this crappy Santa Claus thing. And this one, you're just like, let's just live in the North Pole the whole time. And he's wearing the costume, and it's just a nightmare. It's just a nightmare.
Yeah. And not to get on the Tim Allen bitch wife train, but Carol, you know he's Santa Claus, right? Like, why you like you know this is the busiest time of the year. You know it's like Christmas, right? And you're like, well, how come you're not spending so much time with me?
That is,
He's Santa Claus. He's Santa Claus. You knew this when you signed up. Like, what are you doing?
He seemingly does nothing the rest of the year.
Absolutely nothing.
Like, that makes up for not being around on Christmas when he's literally Santa Claus.
Yeah. And you know, Andy has just gone through this recently, and I had a kid at one point as well. Still have it, but just the actual pregnancy was just one time. You plan, but you don't necessarily. Sometimes some people plan more than others, very specifically, and for whatever reason. Some, you know, you got kind of an idea. But you don't want to be judgmental of people in these circumstances. But you know, if your one time a year you got to work is Christmas time. Could you control yourself? Could you just, can you figure this out a little bit? Can you time it out a little bit? That way it's not hitting right in the exact time. Again, things happen. What are you going to do? But, you know, it just feels like, I would say plot contrivance a little bit. I don't think, whatever. A little bit out there. And then the other thing is that, you know, it's kind of like the idea that he's like a workaholic, and it's like, well, I don't know. He's got one job. Like, it's just, he's only got to do this one thing, you know, for the betterment of the world. But it's like, also we have to have like brunch with my in-laws. Of course, we're going to do the classic Christmas tree. Like, they have all these like little like things or whatever. But the funny thing I noticed, and I think I read this someplace else. So I won't say this is my joke, but the funny thing is just like at the end of the Santa Claus 2, which you guys have covered, she's like, I'll marry you. But it's Tim Allen, who, by the way, kind of handsome for a guy in his maybe 70s, maybe 50s, who knows, but like a good-looking guy. She agrees to marry him. They get married, and then all of a sudden he turns into Santa Claus. Big fat guy, red beard, white beard, the whole thing. Not what she signed up for in the least. Nope. And she's like, now you're living with me, pal. Like, you're this is me now. You know what I mean? Which isn't, you know, not to body or face shame, but this is not what she signed up for. She thought she was marrying Tim Allen. And so now this is just, but I guess it worked out because obviously, you know, they have a kid coming. But it is quite funny that she was just like, I'll marry you. And he's like, great. You know
Great. I'm 400 pounds.
honestly, it kind of makes it easier when you have elves to wait on you hand and foot, though.
It is, but like not only like is it like maybe she's into that, but it's just like it's Santa Claus. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I hope you like Santa Claus. Like, you know, the way it looks, because everything you want to do is now with this. It's
right.
It's just
and like
insane.
I can't speak for every woman, but I don't think that there's many women who are like, Santa Claus is kind of hot. Right?
That's right.
Like,
I never.
Yeah.
He's like, he's kind. He's generous. He's sweet. But
he's great with kids.
sexy,
You know.
Yeah, hot.
Right.
No, those are not the adjectives that come up.
Right.
Yeah. So that's fine. But should we go through the plot ever so slightly, and just to ease into it, just to get through it, just to power through it, just so people know what the heck we're talking about?
Let's jump into this. First off, I love a good Disney castle opening, and this one is no different. The castle in the snow globe, I think that's a lot of fun. And right away I'm going, you know what? Good first step there, guys. I think we got a great movie.
So you went into this really not knowing what it was about, and kind of thought like, hey, maybe this is going to be a fun little romp. You kind of thought you had no idea.
I remembered it.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought.
I'm sorry, Andy. That's what you thought. Yeah.
Yeah, I remembered it. And I remember because, again, I watched 2 and 3 in one night years ago.
That's right.
And it was like, 3 was better. But it also could have been like, now I'm done with these movies, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
So I thought that, it's Marty Short. And Marty Short, comedy powerhouse. So I was like, okay, I'm in for some laughs. Bone dry.
No, it's bad.
You don't like the North Poles parody?
No, I don't.
Go through the plot. We'll get to that when we get there.
Yeah.
That's obviously it's about the time thing.
During elf class, the kids ask about Mrs. Claus's personal life, which is very relatable, trying to get the teacher to waste time talking about her pregnancy. Which gives credence to the fact that these might be kids, because adults would just be like, all right, let's just learn what we got to learn. We got to take this test.
You're so right. That's so classic to be like, you got the math professor, teacher that loves like MBA, and so you're like he's starting to wind up about Pythagorean theorem, and you're like, dude, how about those Knicks yesterday? Pretty good game. And he's like, all right, put this aside for a second. Let me do some games. And then nowadays they're jumping on, they're playing YouTube clips, like they're showing highlights. Yeah. Oh, dude, that's such a good point. And like you're looking at each other like, we're just waiting out the clock, baby. You're so right about that. She's like closes the book. She's like, so glad you asked about that, and then goes into let's say it's real time.
Yeah. Let me go into detail about my pregnancy.
Dude, all right, continue going through the plot, but now imagine the rest of the plot is her telling these kids this.
Right.
we cut to Mrs. Claus about to have a baby, but it's a false alarm. And then one of the elves is like, I had to stop a pedicure. So here's a question. Was this elf receiving or getting a pedicure? Or, I'm sorry, receiving and getting is the same thing. Was she receiving or giving a pedicure?
Makes you think.
It does, yeah. If we start splitting hairs like this, Rob, I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's my problem. Yeah.
It's not fair to nitpick this type of thing.
The baby's a week late, and Scott goes through the chimney and reveals a mobile for the baby. And for some reason, he has to hide it before the child doctor comes in. Like, the child doctor's not allowed to see the mobile.
Yeah. Are they back in the room now at this point? They're back out, out of the infirmary? Now, did you
he
both
went
notice
through the chimney thing.
Oh, this is what I want to talk about. Did you notice that the fireplace is just a big, his own face with a mouth open like this?
Hate that, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And the fire's inside. It's the most, like, gothic looking structure I've ever seen. Like, it looks like if, like, you know what I mean, if he was ruling with an iron fist, like, this is what kind of fireplace that he would have. It's like so, like, it's so crazy that he has that. It's just a big structure of his head.
It's a leftover from the Nazi Santa Claus from the second one.
Oh, you know what? That makes the most sense out of everything. That's the
He was like, you know what? Keep that. I like that. Everything else can remove. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
He had a lot of bad ideas, but that one I think actually.
I really
also,
like
you know what? Keep that symbol up there. I like that.
Yeah.
Guy could interior decorate. You got to give him that.
Yeah.
Got to give him that.
An elf is upset that Santa hasn't looked over the naughty and nice list, and now we're gonna get a meeting of the mythical beings or whatever.
Well, not just an elf, Curtis, who's now taken over for David Krumholtz because David Krumholtz apparently is, I don't know, the only guy with any sense to know that he doesn't have to do this. You know what I mean? The one guy.
And also, you have to replace the elves because it gets to a point like David Krumholtz at this point was 20-something years old. Yeah, and then it raises the questions, well, how come we have an adult elf?
Yeah.
No,
I'm the head elf. I was able to age. I'm going to die one day.
Wait, you think that they edged Krumholtz out? They're like, sorry, pal, you can't be in this thing? Or do you think that he was like,
he's back for the show?
He's back for the show. You're right.
Wow.
But yes, I do. I think they were like, if we want this aesthetic of all children elves, how can we have this grown man in here?
I agree with everything you're saying, but I just can't picture the writers at that point being like, let's put some logic into this. Let's really figure this out.
Yeah.
let's be reasonable for a second.
Also, Krumholtz was a child actor, so he probably didn't work it into his contract that he has to be in all the sequels.
Dude,
probably didn't even think about that.
I think but he was on that. Wasn't he on that? He was on. What was the show? Was he on Bones or he was on Numbers? Was it Numbers? There was he was on like a drama. It was like an NBC. All right, I'll look. Keep going with the plot. I'm gonna find out.
Mrs. Claus says she hopes she's not delivering while Santa's delivering, but that's a risk you take when you marry Santa Claus. Santa tells his wife not to cry. Dude, she's 10 months pregnant. She's going to kill you.
Yeah.
You could take you could take the Scott Calvin out of the Santa Claus. Nah, forget it. Never mind. But he's still
I mean, especially the way he says it too. He goes, "Not the tears." It's like, dude, she's gonna rip you in half.
Yeah. What are you doing? You're very rude.
But as Andy was saying before, I think that is what Tim Allen's adding into it. They're like, can this guy be like a real misogynist jerk? Can we fit that into the?
Yeah. Women are emotional, right, guys?
Yeah, ladies.
And it's difficult.
The old ball and chain over here.
Yeah, from 2005 to 2010, Krumholtz starred in the CBS television show Numbers. I remember Numbers. That's one of the shows I saw the commercial for and never watched. So this guy was doing a successful show and decided, hey, I have some self-respect. I'm not going to do this piece of garbage. That's what I'd like to think. Maybe they edged him out, Rob. Maybe you're right. But I like to think he had some respect.
They called him up. He said, I'm too big to be an elf. And he hung up.
Yeah, that's right.
I also don't know why my David Krumholtz impression is that of a man who's been smoking for 45 years.
Huh?
So, David Krumholtz, why am I doing that? Write in.
Yeah, write in. Email roydsreview@gmail.com.
You guys ever have Krumholtz on the show?
I'd love to.
Not yet.
Pay anything. If David Krumholtz was willing to come on, we'd talk about the series.
I doubt he'd want to talk about this, though. He'd be like, can we talk about something else? We're like, no.
He's like, he was just an Oppenheimer, that Krumholtz.
Yes, he was. I would talk to him about Oppenheimer.
He was good. He was good in Oppenheimer.
Mrs. Claus is homesick. Santa says he'll bring home to the North Pole, and he's going to bring her parents to the North Pole, but the elves are like, oh, there's the secret of Santa. You can't do it. And that's what I attached my whole song to, The Secret of Santa. We'll get into that later. Santa decides he's going to trick her parents into thinking they are in Canada because they believe he's a toy maker in Canada, and I'm surprised Tim Allen would let anyone think he's from Canada.
I know it's a decent point. It's a decent point. Maybe that's why he thought it would be such a trick.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess North Pole's not American. I mean, he's not technically in America anyway, right?
Right, but like, if you're just taking them to a snowy area, you can go to Maine. You can go to Minnesota, eh?
Yeah.
The A's are a funny bit.
It's good.
I think the A's in this movie are very funny. The way they look at them and they just go, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that's probably the top bit, which I think is both a compliment and an insult at the same time.
Yes.
I was laughing at pretty much all of the Canada bits.
Yeah.
Gonna be totally honest. Like at one point when they arrive, the parents arrive, there are two signs. It says, "Welcome to Canada," and then there's a sign next to it that says, "Which is where you are right now."
Yeah, that's.
And I was like,
good.
"That's really funny."
No, that's good.
I didn't notice that.
I can't deny that.
Good.
I can't deny that. That's good.
The Council of Legendary Figures get together so they can discipline Jack Frost, played by Martin Short. Jack is jealous of Santa. Santa tries to tell him it's not easy being him. You know, he's the man who works a day a year. And then he claims that a continent might not get gifts this year. And I'm glad they do say later it's Australia, because my first thought was Antarctica never gets toys.
No.
No one lives there.
What do you think? Maybe the way to out of it though, if you're Santa, is you kind of like, it's almost like when you're, you put your thumb on the scale a little bit and you start to really crack down on the kids being bad. You're like, I don't know, like a lot of bad kids.
Yeah.
But then I guess you still got to go and give them the coal though. So I guess you still have to go there.
That's true. I mean,
doesn't save you any time.
That's what's weird. If I were Santa, I mean, he also has magic, and it does have. They also kind of imply that he can like pause time in this movie at one point.
Yeah.
So like, if you could pause time, you're just being lazy by not hitting every house. Like
you can't pull the thread on this thing. Otherwise, the whole thing. It's like it doesn't make. I mean, Jack Frost obviously just like, I mean, the biggest plot hole is that he wasn't there in the last council meeting. Like, just wasn't there. Like, he's an auxiliary member. He doesn't have. He's upset he doesn't have a holiday. Nobody has a holiday except for Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny, and I guess Cupid technically. Like, Father, you know.
That is a weird thing. Right. Like, so Jack Frost, he is lower than Father Time and Mother Nature because neither of them have holidays.
Right.
Earth
but he
Day?
Controls the weather. Like, that's got to be pretty good. Like, I mean, he should be very powerful.
But he doesn't even seem to control all the weather because it's just the cold.
Right. So
like,
it's just the cold, and it's only like, I guess, literally what he touches. Like, it's not like he has this vast control over the. It's not a snow miser, heat miser situation.
That's exactly. Yeah, like, we don't meet a Mr. Heat Miser in this.
Well, he doesn't have a large grid.
He shows that he has pretty incredible powers. Like, he freezes Judge Reinhold and wife, and
which is a terrifying. I mean, he basically murdered. I mean, we learn later that they're essentially forever frozen.
Yeah, permafrost. But like, why doesn't he just do that and get what he wants? Like, throughout the whole movie. Like,
because
that's
Santa's
like,
magic for some reason can't defeat the froze. Like, he's like, I can't unfreeze them. Like, he's the only one that could do it. So just freeze Santa, and then you're to take over, do like a hostile takeover. Why not? Who would have the power to stop you?
Right. Anybody who tries, you just freeze them too. Like, I don't know.
I agree.
Also, questions. When he is Santa Claus later, does he still have his Jack Frost power?
Apparently so. It doesn't make any sense because he's like, oh, I want it. Like, so first off, it's not that he wants Jack Frost to be, that important, because they don't even know him as Jack Frost. They know him as Santa. So It's not even like I want it to be the Jack Frost holiday. The whole thing is a nightmare. It doesn't make any sense. And by the way, when he turns into Santa Claus, it is one of the more scary things you'll ever see in terms of a makeup. I mean, it's horrifying. Like, they give him like the jowls, but like the beard, but like keep his spiky hair. It's horrifying.
Yeah, he looks like he took Ozempic. That's what he looks like because he's got the jowls and everything. I'll be honest, I kind of thought that worked though because it looked horrifying and he's supposed to be an evil Santa.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of what my thought was. Like, I guess they must have made him scary on purpose, but like, he's not really evil. Like, that's the thing is, it's like he kind of, I guess he makes it into like, oh, now it's like a corporate holiday, but it's like, isn't it kind of like, what's the difference? Like, it kind of is.
Right.
What it is.
There's also like, well, they make the point of saying like, well, how come you made Christmas into something that only people who can afford it, they can have gifts. Like, yeah, that's how it's like, that's regular Christmas too, man.
Yeah.
Well, if you can't afford gifts, you don't get them. Like,
I guess in this universe, Santa is delivering to everybody, so it's like everyone gets gifts, except for apparently the one continent because of his bureaucracy of his operation may miss out. Also, so it's like,
what's the goal here? Because like, what does Santa Claus do with money?
It doesn't make any sense. Well, the funny thing is also like, and it's like when Jack Frost becomes Santa, it's like he's kind of over it. Like, he's kind of like, ugh, like, it's like even he's like, I don't really like it very much. He does his one number, which
the dance number,
which by the way, which
he's been working on that the whole time, just for when Scott Calvin finally arrives.
Do you think they told Martin Short they're like, we'll give you one number, you can figure out what you want it to be at any point if you want to just do a little song.
He hits that high note at the end. Martin Short's great.
He's gonna do a number. I mean, you cast him. He's gonna do a number.
He's gotta.
Somehow, all of this leads to Jack Frost being made Santa's apprentice. And then we meet Judge Reinhold, and of course the reindeers are farting. We see the reindeers once in this movie, and they're just farting, and that's a joke, by the way.
That's a joke.
And that's the biggest, and I think that's what leads to the biggest problem between why there's such a big gap between the first movie and the second two movies is the first movie is PG. These are G. And so all you're getting are farts.
Yeah. Yeah, which is crazy because, and then the Jack Frost freezing the parents thing is one of the more terrifying things you'll see in a G movie. I mean, it's horrifying. Yep. And then he's like, and you stay in the closet with your permanently frozen parents and don't ever leave, or I will freeze. I don't know what he says. I'll freeze you. I guess you'll be frozen as well. But I mean, now she's trapped in a closet with her frozen parents, and it's terrible.
Wouldn't it be funny if you cut to her and she's trying to thaw them out with like an ice pick or something?
Oh my God! I mean, yeah. What would happen? Like if they melt them,
an arm falls off. Oh God!
Now, I believe. Check. Forget me if I'm wrong here, but I believe in the Arnold Schwarzenegger Batman movie where he's Mr. Freeze, I believe he freezes Robin, and I think he just dips him in water, and that solves the problem. I believe, and then that's how he comes unfrozen. But apparently, this is more of a magic frost.
If I'm remembering correctly, Batman throws a little thing in the water to like boil it. So it's hot water.
I think that's.
I could be wrong too. It's been a long time.
Santa gives a gift to his son, and the little girl keeps calling Santa Uncle Scott. But isn't she his ex-wife's daughter with her new husband?
Yes.
That's weird. Okay.
Yeah. I thought about that as well. I was like, wait, because I kind of forgot. I forgot where everybody is between movies, so I was like, is he her uncle? What's going on? I don't care. And
Modern families, baby. Modern families. Yeah. Well, as we learn later on in the flashback, is that when he's not Santa Claus, their whole family falls apart. So he's the glue that's apparently keeping that marriage together.
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you got somebody on the speed dial who has immortal magic that can, do anything he'd like, I mean, I guess it kind of makes life a little bit easier, a little more leisurely to have that type of thing in your back pocket. So I could understand that.
Yeah.
It's like having like a really rich family member. You do have a little bit of a cushion in your life. So imagine that, but it's, unlimited Christmas magic.
Yeah.
Jack Frost fails at his first task. Jack asks about the escape clause that he heard about earlier, and Curtis won't tell him because of the Department of Elfland Security. Oh yeah, that's right, this is 2006. Jack essentially tricks Curtis into telling him what the escape clause is, and it's Santa can wish that he never became Santa, all by touching his snow globe at the same time. And then apparently we learn later that this would bring the previous Santa back to life, because we just go back to when it happened. So what would have happened there if nobody... that doesn't make any sense, because that Tim Allen still yells him off the thing. So that Santa Claus still dies.
That's right. It's one of the worst executed time travel things of all time, because all it does is it brings you, apparently what it does is it brings you back to that specific instance in time, allows you to change that thing. I guess theoretically what you would do is if you were doing the escape clause and he didn't want to be Santa anymore, he would go back to that instance, I guess tackle his former self and not let him to do that. And then I guess it will then jump cut to your life in the future. It seems like it seems like an insanely confusing way to do it. That people could jump, that you could just alter the timeline in a way that, but then you don't live that timeline. You just jumped ahead. But then there's some indication that everyone else doesn't know there's a change, but he does. Why does he remember it, but everyone else doesn't? Him and Jack Frost remember because they were there, but everyone else, it's all doesn't make any sense. You can't even try to figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Santa uses the Sandman to make his wife's parents go to sleep so they can bring them to the North Pole. And when Jack Frost then gets caught snooping by Lucy, he's offended because she never heard of him. It's like, why would a child have heard of Jack Frost? She's 5.
They had the one Rankin Bass special, the Jack Frost one, and that's kind of like the worst one of all of those. Honestly, there's a reason no one really remembers it.
That's fair. I've never even seen it. Is that true?
Yeah, there's like a I think it's a Russian oligarch that's involved, and and he has a puppet that's made of metal, and that he carries around, and then there's something like he's trying to like. He's trying to control this town, but so then Jack Frost comes back as a human, and then he makes it so it snows so that way that he can't attack the town. It's not that good, but the animation's pretty good. The Rankin Bass style is pretty cool. I know all those movies.
Alan Arkin makes a Tom Cruise short joke. I'm surprised he didn't sue. And then Santa's like, "Oh, that's just what Canadians look like."
Yep, and he buys it.
Yep.
I kind of like it. Alan Arkin's like, I'm not going to judge these folks. Like, they're different. Yeah. Whatever.
They're different, but I'll live with them. That's Canadians.
Whatever.
I'm not going to question it.
Jack Frost uses Coco to distract some elves, and he starts breaking some machines. And at this point, I'm going, is this plan to ruin Christmas or take over Christmas?
Right. I guess it's just to stress him out so much that he's like, I hate this. I don't want to be Santa anymore.
Right, but Santa never once goes, hey, the minute this guy came along, everything went haywire.
It's insane that you would allow, like, this is like the solution is like, let's have him work in the factory that's already like have a lot of stressors. Like, let's bring in the opposition.
Right.
Yeah. All right. This, to me, funniest bit in the movie, and you could judge me for this one. Jack Frost is hitting on Mrs. Claus's mom. And this man is getting off at her singing the Jack Frost nipping at your nose part.
Martin Short is doing like these shudders that I think we should raise this level from a G to a PG. I mean, it's
I agree. Honestly, the blooper at the end with the Easter Bunny being like, "You like carrot juice?" I was like, this should be PG at least.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple lines like that where
Yeah.
Isn't there one where like Santa Claus like burns his buttocks and he's like, "Well, you can frost my back, frost my butt," or something like that?
Yeah.
Burns it, and Jack gives a look like he's like, ah. He basically looks at he actually looks at the camera and is like, "Is this is a PG movie? Like,
is this okay? Is this okay?"
Yeah, I don't know.
Little message to Mrs. Claus's mom. It's actually really healthy for someone to be close with their ex-wife, especially when they have children together. She's like, "Oh, you're going to spend Christmas with your whole family?" It's like, well, yeah, that's where my children are. Like,
yeah.
That's a healthy family.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alan Arkin is upset because the delivery room is the size of a broom closet. He also asks, "Are you being held against your will?"
Yeah. I know, but that's the thing, and you go, and then you think to yourself as the viewer, you go, "Well, kinda. I mean, what is she gonna do? What is she gonna do? She can't leave. Like, what's she gonna get a plane? Like, and fly home? Like, what is she gonna do?" So yeah, kind of.
He also uses this sick like backpack fire extinguisher at some point.
Dude, I know. Where does he find that?
That's sick. I want one.
Yeah.
Hey, I got this fire extinguisher. By Alan Arkin.
It's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
I can only do that one line though. That's I can't put it in my act. Unless I set up a scenario in which Alan Arkin comes in with a fire extinguisher, which I'm not against. I mean, that's
It's gonna take some work, but I think you got it.
Yeah.
A bunch of toys were destroyed, and Santa uses leftover intact parts to create a new toy using magic. It's a jet-powered scooter board. Nobody cares. Never comes back.
Nope. Thought it would. I thought, oh, they're gonna save the day with that. Nope.
And they do like this speed up animation where like he's going quick, and it looks just terrible.
Awful.
We do get a good line here, which I think is good advice for anybody. Problem at work? That's a challenge. A problem at home? That's a problem. That's actually good advice.
It is. Work-life balance is very important. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
We also get a parody of Red Bull because the Snow Globe collection is behind a Red Deer vending machine instead of Red Bull. In the Hall of Snow Globes, Santa says there's a personal snow globe for every Santa there's ever been, including all of the dead ones, which is very interesting to me, but let's not dive into that at all.
It's one of those things where they go, hey, here's a really interesting premise for this movie. Let's not do it.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's allude to something more interesting than we're doing.
It's a classic bad movie thing where like they allude to the better movie happening off screen, that then they just continue a crappy movie.
Yeah.
Jack Frost sneaks into the Hall of Snow Globes after Santa and Lucy leave. And before Scott can join the women in decorating the Christmas tree, Curtis is like, you gotta check the naughty and nice list. Again, you're Santa Claus. You have a job to do.
Yeah, that's in like all the songs, dude.
Yeah. Curtis, by the way, though, being the classic archetype of guy at work who's so like all about working and getting stuff done, but is also the worst at his job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, we gotta get these files done, and then he gets the files done, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, I actually dropped all the files down the drain." Like, it's like some stupid thing like that.
Hey, we need these files in alphabetical order.
I mean,
cool. Hey, they're in backwards alphabetical order. Yeah, you said alphabetical.
He causes the problem in both movies, right? Like, he forgets about the marry thing, just forgets, which is like, just forgets. And then this one, he basically gives Jack Frost the keys to basically do this whole rigmarole. He basically screws up both things, but yet keeps his job. This is classic. This is classic stuff.
Yeah. Failing up.
Classic stuff. I bet his uncle is Father Time. I don't know. Nepo baby.
Lucy catches Jack stealing a snow globe, and this is where Frost freezes Neil and his wife, and he traps Lucy in the closet with them. Hey guys, give me a Star Wars reference here, and make it look like the Carbonite or something.
Yeah.
Make it a little more fun.
Missed opportunity.
It's not fun. It's terrifying. Like, they have pained expressions of like they look monsters.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. Again, this movie's for children. That's insane. Like, my daughter is 3 years old. I watched this movie and I was like, I'll wait till she falls asleep because I don't want her to see this.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah.
We also get this weird thing. So Jack tells Mrs. Claus, like, hey, ask your dad to do the tree topper because it's gonna piss off your husband, who is Santa Claus, who is clearly stressed out because everything in this factory is falling apart. Oh, by the way, you're 10 months pregnant. Why don't I just push you two towards divorce? Why don't I just make sure? Let's just get those papers filled out now.
Yeah.
He then undoes the tree stand, so when Santa puts the topper on, it just falls over and shatters.
Yeah. I mean, it's classic Iago and Othello type stuff. It's all classic literature. You gotta just go with it here. With this is all manipulation and
Brother, Iago is from Aladdin. Jack takes Santa for a walk after he gets into an argument with Alan Arkin. And Scott's all upset because he feels like he blew it with now both of his families. And I guess I have to ask the question of... questions. Why are some people allowed to know he's Santa, but not others?
It's the most perplexing thing of the movie because it seems like he's telling everybody, but then all of a sudden he's like, well, my in-laws can't know, who seemingly have no life other than just living alone in this house. Like, it's not like they're like, he's like the mayor of something, or, you know what I mean? Like, where he's like, he writes a gossip column. Like, they seem to be very like by themselves. Like, just tell them. Who cares?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is the resolve of the movie.
Yes.
And nothing changes. There's no downside to it. Absolutely zero.
Nope.
Oh, doesn't Curtis say some stupid thing before where he's like, oh, people can't know because of whatever reason?
Yeah, the secret of Santa. That's all the whole reason. There's no actual reason.
Wow.
Yet I could tell Lucy, who's a child, is telling everybody.
Exactly.
Now that's writing.
And Charlie, it's Charlie. Wait, does Charlie come to the North Pole? No, he doesn't. Does he?
He does
there?
at the end. He's like, I heard you need help, and here I am.
I got other plans. Like, he's got other things going on.
Jack tricks Scott into holding the snow globe and wishing he never became Santa at all. And now it's the first movie, 12 years ago, and apparently he hasn't had any of these problems for 12 years. It's just been flying clean, other than when he needed to get married because they forgot to tell him that.
Yeah.
This time...
By that you mean Curtis.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Well, let's point fingers here.
Yeah, you're right. I was trying to be nice about it, but... Jack distracts Santa, he falls off the roof, and Frost puts the red coat on. And now it's Christmas Eve in the present day, so 12 years has passed. We have no idea what has happened in these 12 years. But
None.
Scott is back to who he was before becoming Santa, has no
Looks great.
recollection of these 12 years either. Because he's
Looks
wondering
hot.
why...
Got a suit on.
Lost all the weight, but he's still
great.
wondering why everyone's working on Christmas. It's like, 12 years ago, why didn't you question this?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then Scott drives to go see his ex-wife and son, and now she's divorced from Neil, and then he's like, hey, where's Carol? And she's like, the principal of his school? You're weird.
So, but she definitely thought that was her Oscar reel that when she's answered the door.
Yeah.
She's got
So they show that when we get the flash forward back to 12 years, and he's the CEO again or whatever, it's nighttime. And he's like, it's Christmas Eve? And the guy's like, yeah. So he drives to his ex-wife's house. She tells him what's going on. And then he flies to the North Pole. It's still Christmas Eve? It was already nighttime. Where do you live? What's going on? What's time like here? Wouldn't it be like Christmas
we don't
in a
have
day?
time to answer these questions. We got to get to... They're sprinting to the end of this movie because there's like 10 minutes left of the movie. They're running as fast as they can to get to this result.
They waited
and Martin
too
Short's
long.
still got to do a number. He's still got to sing a song. We got to get there. We got to move.
Yeah.
Scott gets all the way to the North Pole. It's now a joyless theme park. The reindeers are at a petting zoo. He meets up with Neil, and Neil tells him that my marriage failed because you're a bad father.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. This is classic stuff. This is tale as old as time.
We see Jack. He's now Santa Claus. We get the New York, New York number, but this is after we get him recording Jack saying, oh, what are you going to get me to wish I never became Santa Claus? It's like, okay, we see how this ends. We know where this goes.
Yes. Yeah. Zootopia style. He's got the pen, records.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. I wonder if that's where they got it from. Oh, they also do that in
Disney.
Yeah. There's another movie they do that in too. Go on.
As Jack is singing, Scott swings in and knocks him down. Everyone thinks it's a part of the show. Meanwhile, Lucy sneaks into the secret snow globe room and throws Jack Frost's snow globe. Jack catches it and heckles Scott until Scott plays the recording. Here's a question. What would have happened if it just broke on the ground? Does Santa die?
Fingers crossed.
Whoa.
At the very least, it's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Honestly, we could have ended it here, but we got a little bit more. It's like, no, guys, let's go.
So
How great would
this
be
is
just
where
cracks the movie just goes to black. Sopranos. Song, it's the end of the movie.
no credits,
that.
just black screen. That's it.
No, it's called art. The guy's just like, yeah, it's called art.
But like, this is when I question: does Jack Frost still have his frost powers? Because he's tussling with this regular man, Tim Allen.
They're doing
just
hand-to-hand. I know they're doing a hand-to-hand, one-on-one scuffle.
Well,
Yeah,
like before you could argue because he's Santa, he's got magic or whatever.
Well, he does
but this
that.
is
He
just
does
a
that
regular man.
He swings in and kicks him. I mean, that would kill him. I mean, he hits him so hard.
Yeah.
He hits him so hard.
I think it'd be a bad look if Santa Claus froze a man to death in front of a bunch of children.
Oh, what are they gonna do? Impeach him? They don't. There's nothing they can do. What are they gonna do?
But also,
Santa Claus,
He's the immortal Santa Claus.
None of the legendary figures have stepped in yet.
Well, wait a minute. What? Well, wait a minute. Yeah, shouldn't Father Time really have a beef with this whole situation?
Yeah.
He should step in. Yeah.
This is his domain.
He's too old.
Jack and Scott fight. The first movie plays out. Scott puts the coat back on, and now we're in the present day like none of this ever happened. And Scott tells his wife's family the truth about Santa Claus, and Alan Arkin's just going, "Whoa, whoa."
Yeah. But he has a wonderful, It's a Wonderful Life type epiphany about how blessed he is in his life. Again, that was an entire movie that they had where that happened. I actually guess Wonderful Life's a little bit shorter, but like this was like a 3-4 minute vignette where he does the whole arc of his life.
But like the thing is, he's like, hey, sometimes we fight, but you know, it's okay. Oh wow, great, that's good. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, finally, all the legendary figures show up with Charlie to help the elves make presents. Lucy comes out and shows her frozen parents, and finally she gives Jack a big hug, and that's what causes him to unfreeze. It warms his heart. Her parents unfreeze. Big group hug. The baby is born right before Santa goes out to deliver presents, and his name is Buddy. Was this before the movie Elf or after?
Ooh, good question.
It's got to be before, right?
This is 2006.
It's got to be before. You're right. Ooh, good.
I think Elf was first. I think this is a little like call it like to Elf.
Oh, 2003.
Yeah.
Wow.
You are right. Wow. Oof.
And then
Wow.
the funniest part of the movie, the blooper reel.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Martin Short's. If you give Martin Short a blooper reel, I mean, he's doing takes, baby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He has plenty of
Doing
time
takes.
to just kind of let it fly.
Yeah.
It's great.
It is great. Too bad it's nothing.
No,
Should we jump into a Letterboxd?
please.
Yeah.
If you want me to go first, I actually thought about this. I'm gonna go half a star.
Okay.
Ooh.
I thought about one. But I went down to half a star.
I was gonna give it 2. Andy, what do you think?
I would say 1, just because. Honestly, I didn't think it was like after watching the second one, it's like, okay, I get what this is. It's nothing. This is all nothing. The first one is the only thing that's worth anything, and this is just more of that. Just like so much wasted potential. I give it 1 star. I don't know.
The thing about that brings it down. I would do 1 star, but the thing about it is the incompetence to like keep bringing up stuff that you have no ability to actually explain. Like you're the one presenting the plot holes so much, where you're just like, "Hey, look at this plot hole over here. Can we examine that?" And then doing all this stuff that like makes you angry about like how much it doesn't make any sense. It's not even like they're like yada yada yadaing over it. They're like, well, this is confusing, isn't it? And then just like continuing on with the movie. It's
Right.
a little. It's like not only is it like a bad movie, but it's also like trying to like be like aggressively like in your face about how it doesn't make any sense. Like it's confrontational with its like plot holes that I don't like it. Plus, I mean, it's just not fun to look at. Like, I mean, it's very not good looking on the eyes.
And it's not funny.
It's
Like
not funny.
you have Marty Short, and it's not funny.
Are we
Like,
going
you did
all the way
something
down
wrong.
to half a star?
I went to half. That was.
I mean, Robbie,
Oh wait, do we have to agree on it? Is that what we have to do?
Well, we yeah, that's how we usually do it on ours. But if you have your own, well, Ricky, if you have your own Letterboxd, you can promote your Letterboxd.
Well, if we're gonna agree, I would think we can. Can we agree on 1 star? Or Rob, you think it needs another whole star? You want to give it at 1?
I'm down to half. I'm down to 1 or a half. This was bad.
I would say I think a solid 1. I mean, it is a film that exists. No one looks, as Mulaney does in this bit. No one looks at the camera. Everyone remembers their lines.
Yeah.
Like it is a movie. Like, and frankly, the anime, like all the computer anime stuff, is bad. But like you know, we've actually seen kind of comparable stuff in like some Marvel TV shows recently. So it's like you know,
that's fair.
Yeah, it's not like it's like not done. It's like it's completed, but it's just not that good.
Done.
So I would say 1.
All right.
I'd say 1 as well.
You know what? Follow us on Letterboxd at TheRoydsBand. We gave the Santa Claus 3 1 star. I wrote a song.
Wow. Tell us about your song, Robbie.
In this movie, they play the Brian Setzer Orchestra's Santa's Got a Hot Rod. I quite like Brian Setzer. I quite like the Stray Cats. So I want to do something that was a little similar to that. And so I wrote a song called Santa's Got a Secret. And I tried to do a little intro thing that was similar to like Jingle Bell Rock or what's the other track? Jingle Bell Rock or Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. And so I tried to do a guitar part similar to that. That's like a little hook thing. And then I tried to do something similar to the Brian Setzer Orchestra, but I couldn't get the horns to sound right. I'm rambling. So let me just play my song now. It is called Santa... It's called Santa's Got a Secret. It goes like this.
Santa's got a secret he don't want the family to know. Santa's got a secret he don't want the family to know. He's got a double life that he don't want exposed. Mrs. Claus has got a little one on the way. Little Mrs. Claus got a baby on the way. If the truth comes out, I don't know if she will stay. The elves know the deal and they know to keep their mouths shut.
Santa's got a secret, yeah, we gotta keep it.
The elves know the rules and they know to keep it all hush hush.
Santa's got a secret, yeah, we gotta keep it.
'Cause if they run their mouths, they'll be turned into reindeer mush. The walls are closing in and the in-laws are coming to town.
Santa's got a secret, yeah, we gotta keep
Yeah,
it.
the walls are closing in and the in-laws are coming to town.
Santa's got a secret, yeah, we gotta keep
If they
it.
found out the truth, it'll bring the operation down. Be careful what you wish for, mind what you say. You go from having everything to alone on Christmas Day. Be careful what you wish for, be careful what you say. You go from having everything to alone on Christmas Day. Santa's got a secret he can't let anybody know.
Santa's got a secret, yeah, we gotta keep it.
Santa's got a secret he don't want the family to know.
Santa's got a secret, yeah, we gotta keep
He's
it.
got a double lie that he don't want exposed. Woo!
Yeah.
Robbie,
I know. I threw in a little cuss word in there at the end.
I'm calling 991.
That's fine.
That was outstanding. That was awesome.
Thank you.
I really
Oh.
like the backing vocals on that.
Thanks.
Really good. How many vocal tracks is that? How many layers?
That's a 3-part harmony there, and then just the regular vocal part.
Very nice, man. That's awesome and very funny. That was that's way more thought into that song than the people that wrote this movie did.
Yes.
And far more better executed for what you planned on it. So I
Thank
would
you.
I
say
agree.
I would say you should take that as a success. If nothing else, if that song came out of this movie, then I think that at least it serves some purpose. If this podcast and that song existed, if only to allow the three of us a moment to spend some time together and for you to write that cool song, then I think maybe this movie does have some value.
Wow.
You know what? I'm going to change it to 5 stars on Letterboxd.
Wow.
Yeah.
As is tradition. A little Santa Claus.
Oh, that's good.
Well,
That
thanks.
is good.
Sandy Claus.
That's a hotter Santa than Tim Allen looks like. But that one I can
It's more
understand her
natural,
being attracted to. Yeah.
it's more natural.
But yeah, I said everything I think I wanted to. It's I wanted to go for that like opening like Jingle Bell Rock guitar, a little parody of that.
I like the variation on it. Yeah, it's cool.
Thank you. And then yeah, I just did a little rock shuffle, and
Yeah.
a bridge that didn't
I liked
really,
it.
a bridge that just made it pop a little bit. you know.
I liked it.
Little
I like the
rockable.
bridge a lot. It's probably
How
my
do you
favorite
do the
part.
dr-
Is the bridge.
How do you do the drums? Is that a program that you do that, or are you actually playing?
I'm actually glad you asked. So I used to use a program and like edit it and like kind of. But now what I've been doing for the last few weeks, I've actually been doing all the drums on the MIDI here. Like,
just playing it.
Like
yeah.
And I find that it sounds more organic to the song.
Yeah. Because it's like it's
Yeah.
not like right on.
Yeah.
Do you play with a metronome when you're playing the drums out, or do you just do it and then and then just play over them?
I actually will record everything else first. So I record everything
okay.
with a metro. I do it totally backwards when I do something like when I do it. Because what happens is I'll actually record to a drum sample. I'll actually record over a drum sample with the
I get
guitars
that,
and everything just to have
Yeah.
my timing down.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'll delete that, and then I go in and do a drum bit and try to match this, the bass and the snare with the bass, and
add the
try to just
emphasis
do that.
and the accents and things like that.
Yeah.
as it goes. Oh, that's
You can always-
that's an expert way to do it.
You
Makes perfect sense.
you could always tell it's me doing the drums on the MIDI because there is not a single fill to be heard. Like
Yeah,
if you listen, like
if it was a drum machine or something, it's like do. At least
yeah, when it's me, it's just I find the pocket and I'm just vibing out there, hitting the buttons.
That's
you know
all
what I
you
mean?
need,
Like,
man. That's it.
yeah, I
That's
go
awesome.
because I try to throw in a fill every now and then, and it sounds like dog duty. So, because I just don't. It's also weird when you're not hitting drums, you're hitting keys. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the rhythm
So
is
it's-
like you have to get back into the pocket. It's like almost like it's a different feel. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, because like when you use the but with this, I'm literally just like to
Yeah.
get the cymbal sound I wanted to get on that, like that ride cymbal. There were two ride cymbal keys on here. One's here and the other all the way back here. So it's literally me going like, and to try
Yeah.
to do a fill while I'm doing that.
Right. It's not a natural location like it is for a drum where you're kind of following it back to
Right.
into the beat.
It's also, it's like when you're drumming, you're using your arms, and with that, you're using your fingers. It's a totally different feel. Totally different.
Right.
All right, folks. Well, I got to wrap this up on my end. So if we're okay on the Royds end,
Ricky, give out any of your socials one more time and anything
Yeah,
you
you
want to
can-
promote.
Instagram at Ricky D Grimes. You go to my website. I got a couple gigs coming up on the 20th and the 21st in two different locations on Long Island. This should be a fun time. Go to rickydgrimes.com for more information on that. If you're interested in having me come to your comedy show, just shoot me a message. I'm pretty available. So I'm around. And then definitely continue to support these fellas here. They are amazingly talented, and seriously, the record, I think I'd tag that on at the end of this too. Let people hear that if there's new people that haven't heard it or anything like that, because it's really, really good. And I appreciate you hanging out, fellas. Andy, it was a pleasure to meet you. I hope we can hang in the future. I think we'd have a fun time. And Robbie, I'll see you out there, of course. And anytime we're together, it's always a fun time.
Ricky, we'd love to have you back.
Yeah. Thank
Thanks,
you so much
fellas.
for joining us. Robbie, what do we got going on next week?
That is an excellent question. Andy, my parents flew to France and they didn't bring me. We're doing Home Alone.
Cool.
I liked it. Was that your impression of the Scream, the painting?
Yes.
Why would you do that when you should have done it for Home Alone? That's the famous poster for Home Alone, Andy.
I wasn't thinking, Robbie. I wasn't thinking. I got to tell you, Robbie, to be completely honest with you, never seen Home Alone in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
That's shocking. I actually watched it a couple years ago for the first time.
For your other podcast.
My Home Alone podcast. I said, I'm going to
Yeah.
start a Home Alone podcast.
One episode.
What I do is every episode I analyze a different frame of the movie.
Wow, that's commitment. This
Yeah,
guy
it's
loves
bad.
Home Alone.
It's
Yeah, sounds awful.
bad.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm really excited to talk to you about it because it's quite good.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it. I've never seen it. I've heard only good things. But let me tell you where you can find the music. You go to Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, wherever you get your music. Search The Royds. You'll find several collections of podcast songs, but also studio recordings that Ricky Grimes was talking about. Late Night Radio is on You Look Nice Today, Carol, which has, I believe, 5 tracks on it?
7.
7. Wow. Bangers. It's been a long time, guys. But yeah, check that out. If you want everything, you go to TheRoyds.bandcamp.com, and everything's there. Bonus songs, guest songs, and the YouTube has all the songs as well. Robbie, tell us a little more about that and the socials.
You go to Instagram, you go to TikTok, you go to YouTube, you go to Reddit, you type in TheRoydsBand. There we are, there we be. Send us an email at roydsreview@gmail.com. Click the link below to request a movie. Anyway, we'd love to hear from you, the viewer, the listener. Can't see me.
Where'd he go? Oh, thank God.
Is that good podcasting? No.
No.
Not at all. Especially if you're listening.
Yeah. Well, thank you again to Ricky Grimes, and we'll see you later. Home Alone next week. We'll see you later.
Bye, everybody.